What if I told you Scarlett Johansson starred in not one, not two, but $10 billion blockbusters, and you've probably missed some of them. From her first undercover debut in Iron Man 2 to the emotional farewell in Endgame, Scarlett Johansson has quietly become the most bankable actress in Hollywood. Today we're counting down her top 10 highest-grossing movies, and some may surprise you. 1. Avengers Endgame 2019, Scarlett's $2.7 billion power move. What does it take to become part of the highest-grossing movie in history? For Scarlett Johansson, it meant stepping into Avengers Endgame as Natasha Romanoff and delivering one of the most emotional, unforgettable sacrifices in the MCU. This film didn't just shatter box office records with over $2.71 billion worldwide, it cemented Scarlett's place in the pantheon of cinema legends. Let's be real, that heartbreaking scene on Vormir still gives us chills. Critics, fans, even fellow actors like Robert Downey Jr. have praised Scarlett for bringing depth, power, and vulnerability to her role. And here's the kicker, her performance wasn't just good for the story. It helped push this film to become a cultural event. The New York Times called her portrayal the emotional anchor of Endgame. That's no small praise. As a fan myself, I remember the theater going dead silent during her final scene. It was more than a moment. It was a statement. So tell me, where were you when you first watched Endgame? Drop your thoughts below. And let's talk about how Natasha's sacrifice changed the entire franchise. And trust me, the next movie on this list, it's just as jaw-dropping, especially when you see how much it made. 2. Avengers Infinity War 2018, the beginning of the end, was epic. What if I told you the beginning of one of the most ambitious crossover sagas in film history nearly hit $2.05 billion at the box office? And Scarlett Johansson was right in the heart of it. In Avengers Infinity War, Natasha Romanoff isn't just a side character, she's leading covert attacks, protecting Vision, and facing down an unstoppable cosmic villain. Her intensity in the fight scenes, especially that badass team-up in Wakanda, proved once again why she's essential to the Avengers lineup. Audiences around the world showed up in force. This film pulled in over $678 million domestically, and an even crazier $1.36 billion internationally. Now that's global domination. And here's something wild. According to Variety, Scarlett's presence was a steadying force amid a storm of characters, grounding the chaos with emotional weight. Personally, I still remember gasping when Thanos snapped his fingers. That cliffhanger, iconic. It sparked memes, debates, even fan theories that lasted a full year. So let me ask you this, did Infinity War hit you harder than Endgame? Let me know which one wrecked you more in the comments. And up next, we've got a film that kicked off everything and introduced us to the very first female Avenger on screen. Bet you can guess what's coming. 3. The Avengers 2012, where it all assembled. Can you imagine a time before the Avengers were a household name? Back in 2012, the Avengers wasn't just a superhero movie, it was the beginning of a cinematic revolution. And guess what? Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff was the only female Avenger leading the charge. This wasn't just token representation. She brought serious weight to the team, proving she could stand shoulder to shoulder with God's billionaires and super soldiers. The film exploded at the box office, raking in a jaw-dropping $1.51 billion worldwide, with over $623 million in the US alone. Critics from The Guardian to IGN praised her presence as a perfect balance of brains, badass, and backstory. I still remember how the interrogation scene flipped expectations. Scarlett owned that moment with calm, clever dominance. That's when fans knew she was more than just a sidekick. Want to know something else wild? This was the role that truly shifted Scarlett into blockbuster royalty. So if you were Team Black Widow from day one, hit that like button and drop A in the comments. Up next, a sequel that was even bigger, even darker, and packed with Ultron chaos and next-level Natasha. 4. Avengers Age of Ultron 2015, a darker chapter for Natasha. What happens when the world's mightiest heroes start questioning their own power? Enter Avengers Age of Ultron, where Scarlett Johansson's character takes on her most emotionally complex arc yet. This wasn't just about the action, though yes, she absolutely slayed in every fight scene. It was about peeling back the layers of Natasha Romanoff. We learned more about her past, her trauma, and even her desire for something more than war. It was raw, vulnerable, and real. And guess what? This deeper dive into her character didn't just move fans. It moved the box office to the tune of $1.39 billion globally, including $459 million in domestic earnings. That's power. Entertainment Weekly praised Scarlett's performance as a necessary emotional anchor in a film full of metal and mayhem. And personally, I think this film was the turning point where people stopped seeing Black Widow as a supporting character and started seeing her as a cornerstone of the Avengers. Let's talk. Did Age of Ultron change how you viewed Natasha? Was this the first time she felt truly human to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't go anywhere, because next up we're heading into Civil War and lines are about to get seriously blurred. 5. Captain America Civil War 2016, when Black Widow picked a side. What do you do when heroes fight heroes and you're caught in the middle? In Captain America Civil War, Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff was thrust into one of the MCU's most complicated moral battlegrounds. This wasn't just an action-packed sequel, it was a test of loyalty, ideology, and friendship. With a global box office haul of $1.15 billion, including over $408 million in the US, this film marked another massive win for Scarlett's career. But more than that, it showed us just how nuanced her character had become. She wasn't blindly Team Iron Man, she wrestled with the consequences, betrayed no one, and ultimately chose people over politics. Critics applauded her cool pragmatism and strategic brilliance, while fans finally saw Natasha as a chess player, not just a soldier. And let's not forget that epic face-off at the airport, easily one of the most iconic scenes in MCU history. From her emotional tension with Steve Rogers to her tactical grace in battle, this was peak Black Widow. Personally, this was the film where I realized just how vital she was to holding the Avengers together and tearing them apart. So what about you? Whose side were you on? And did Natasha's role change your perspective? Let's talk in the comments. And coming up next, we're trading superheroes for a jungle full of danger and one unforgettable voice role you didn't see coming. 6. The Jungle Book 2016, Scarlett's seductive shift to the shadows. Did you even recognize Scarlett Johansson as Kaa, the hypnotic python in The Jungle Book? Because when I first watched it, I was stunned at how powerful her voice alone could be. Released in 2016 and pulling in $951 million globally, this film was a visual masterpiece, and Scarlett's eerie, sultry take on Kaa added a whole new layer of tension to Mowgli's journey. It wasn't action-packed in the way we usually associate with her, but her performance stood out precisely because it was different. It was all about subtle control, psychological manipulation, and tone. Critics from Rolling Stone to Empire noted how her voice lingers in your head long after the credits roll, making her one of the film's most hauntingly memorable characters. I've always admired actors who can switch mediums seamlessly, and this role proved Scarlett's versatility beyond doubt. From espionage expert to a jungle serpent, that's range. So tell me, did The Jungle Book make you see Scarlett in a new light? Did Kaa's scene freak you out like it did me? Let's get your thoughts below. And coming up, she trades the jungle for a microphone in one of the most unexpected animated blockbusters on this list. And it's going to make you smile. 7. Captain America, The Winter Soldier 2014. Natasha goes full spy mode. What happens when a superhero movie turns into a political thriller? You get Captain America. The Winter Soldier and Scarlett Johansson absolutely thrives in it. Released in 2014 and raking in over $714 million worldwide, this film showed us a different side of Black Widow, calculated, stealthy, and operating in the shadows like a true espionage expert. From the opening stealth mission on the Lemurian star to her emotionally layered moments with Steve Rogers, Natasha proved she wasn't just muscle, she was the mind, the moral compass, and sometimes the one pulling the strings. Critics at Forbes called her performance icy precision with unexpected warmth, which is honestly the perfect summary. I remember watching it thinking, this isn't just a Marvel film, this is a spy thriller with emotional stakes. And let's talk about chemistry. Scarlett and Chris Evans had a dynamic that balanced sharp wit with deep trust, and fans noticed. This was the movie that solidified Natasha Romanoff as essential to Cap's story and to the entire MCU. So now I'm curious, do you prefer spy mode Natasha or full-on Avengers Natasha? Comment below and tell me which version of her felt most powerful to you. And next, get ready to hear her like never before, because her voice is about to rock the stage. 8. Sing 2016, Scarlett as a punk rock porcupine. Who knew Scarlett Johansson could sing? And not just sing, but shred like a punk rock star. In Sing, she voiced Ash the teenage porcupine with attitude, heart, and a whole lot of guitar skills. And let me tell you, she didn't just lend her voice, she owned that mic. This surprise animated hit pulled in over $631 million at the box office, with critics and families alike falling in love with the film's music, charm, and characters. Scarlett's performance stood out as edgy, emotional, and incredibly relatable for anyone who's ever been underestimated or told to tone it down. Variety praised her vocal delivery as gritty and heartfelt, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. The moment Ash takes the stage with Set It All Free, goosebumps. Every time. It was proof that Scarlett's talent doesn't stop at acting, she's a full-blown performer. Personally, this movie made me smile from start to finish, and it's one I still re-watch whenever I need a dose of inspiration. So here's a question: did you expect Scarlett to rock in an animated musical? Let me know what your favorite Ash moment was. And don't go anywhere, we're heading into a high-stakes, high-tech world where Scarlett takes on an army of machines in one of her sleekest roles yet. 9. Iron Man 2 2010, the debut that changed the game. What if I told you that one of the most iconic Marvel characters almost slipped under the radar in her debut in Iron Man 2? Scarlett Johansson's first appearance as Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, didn't just make an impression, it ignited a legacy. With a domestic haul of over $312 million and global earnings of $621 million, this film was already a major success. But Scarlett, she walked in with fiery red hair, a black suit, and an attitude that immediately stole scenes even from Robert Downey Jr. That hallway fight scene, instant classic. And let's not forget the reveal Natalie Rushman was just her cover. I remember watching it and thinking, who is this woman? And when is she getting her own movie? Critics were quick to spotlight her as a standout in an already stacked cast. And in hindsight, it's wild to realize this role was just the beginning of a decade-long journey that helped shape the entire MCU. So what did you think when she first stepped onto the screen in Iron Man 2? Did you know she'd become that important to the universe? Let me know in the comments, and next we're heading into full-throttle sci-fi territory with a film that's as cerebral as it is action-packed. This one's got range. 10. Lucy 2014, the brain-bending blockbuster. What if you could unlock 100% of your brain's potential? That's the high-concept hook behind Lucy, and Scarlett Johansson ran with it, delivering one of her boldest and most unconventional performances to date. In this 2014 sci-fi thriller, Scarlett plays a woman who accidentally absorbs a drug that enhances her cognitive abilities to godlike levels. The result? A mind-bending journey that turns her into a weapon, more dangerous than any villain or superhero in her past roles. And the world was watching. Lucy pulled in $457 million globally, including $330 million internationally, despite having no franchise backing or superhero label. Just Scarlett, carrying the whole film. Critics and fans were shocked in the best way. The Hollywood Reporter described her as commanding and enigmatic, proving that she could headline a complex blockbuster on her own. Personally, I loved how fearless she was, taking on a role that blurred the line between science, philosophy, and action. No cape, no Avengers. Just Scarlett pushing the limits. So here's my question to you. Do you think Lucy deserved a sequel? Drop your thoughts below. And there you have it, Scarlett Johansson's top 10 highest-grossing movies. From superhero showdowns to animated anthems and sci-fi stunners, her range is unreal. Hit that like if you discovered a new favorite on this list, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite stars. Which celeb's filmography should we break down next? Let us know.